Good afternoon and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our London studio. I'm Victoria Lane. We begin in Islamabad, where the foreign ministers of Pakistan and Myanmar have held what officials described as productive talks aimed at revitalizing bilateral relations. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar met with his Myanmar counterpart Than Shwe, with discussions covering political engagement, trade, cultural links, and security cooperation. Both sides agreed to enhance people-to-people exchanges and signed a memorandum of understanding on political consultations to ensure regular dialogue. They also agreed to improve coordination on humanitarian and consular matters. Myanmar extended an invitation to Pakistani investors to explore business opportunities, while both countries expressed hope that Myanmar's recent elections would contribute to stability and development. For more on this story, we go live to Islamabad and our correspondent, Sarah William. Sarah, what are the key takeaways from these talks?
Victoria, officials here say the tone of the meeting was notably forward-looking, with both sides keen to rebuild momentum in ties that have remained limited in recent years. The signing of the political consultation MOU is being seen as a practical step to institutionalize dialogue at multiple levels. There was also a strong emphasis on trade and investment, particularly Myanmar's interest in attracting Pakistani businesses. Diplomats say cooperation on humanitarian and consular issues could bring immediate benefits for citizens of both countries. Overall, Islamabad views the talks as a foundation for broader engagement going forward.
Thank you, Sarah William, reporting from Islamabad. Turning now to Pakistan's diplomatic engagements in the Gulf, President Asif Ali Zardari is set to begin a 4-day official visit to the United Arab Emirates, departing on Monday with a high-level delegation, according to the Foreign Office. The visit, scheduled from January 26 to 29, will include meetings with UAE leadership to review and strengthen bilateral relations. Talks are expected to focus on trade, economic cooperation, and expanding people-to-people contacts. The trip follows recent visits by UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan to Pakistan, underlining what officials describe as a deep and brotherly relationship between the two nations. In regional developments, a court in Bangladesh has sentenced the country's former police chief and 2 senior officers to death in absentia for crimes against humanity linked to the 2024 protest crackdown in Dhaka. The verdict comes ahead of national elections set for February 12th. And marks a significant moment as authorities move to hold former leaders accountable for the use of lethal force against demonstrators. 5 other former police officials received varying prison sentences. Earlier rulings in the same case also handed a death sentence to ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who remains in hiding. In the Middle East, Israel has agreed to a limited reopening of the Rafah crossing with Egypt, allowing pedestrian movement only. The decision is tied to a truce framework and the recovery of the remains of the last captive linked to the Gaza conflict. Rafah is a vital humanitarian lifeline and for many Gazans, the only gateway to the outside world. The crossing has been closed since Israeli forces took control during the fighting. Israeli officials say further steps depend on Hamas's cooperation in returning all hostages and deceased captives, with uncertainty remaining over whether medical patients will be permitted to leave Gaza. From East Asia and South Asia relations, China's President Xi Jinping has described China-India ties as those of good neighbors, friends, and partners. In Republic Day greetings to Indian President Draupadi Murmu, Xi highlighted the importance of stable relations for global peace and prosperity. He urged both countries to expand cooperation and address mutual concerns, using the metaphor of the dragon and the elephant dancing together to symbolize partnership. Despite a long-disputed 800-kilometer border and past clashes, including deadly fighting in 2020, engagement has improved through high-level visits and the resumption of direct flights in 2025, boosting trade and investment. Back home, a cold wave continues to grip Pakistan as a new western disturbance affects large parts of the country, according to the National Weather Forecasting Center. Rain, strong winds, thunderstorms, and snowfall have been reported in several regions, causing traffic disruptions and slippery conditions in mountainous areas such as Naran, Swat, Hunza, Marie, and Neelam Valley. Authorities have warned of landslides and avalanches. Relief operations are underway in Orakzai and Kurram districts, where the Pakistan Army has cleared blocked roads and evacuated stranded residents. Rain and snow are expected across Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Punjab, Kashmir, and Sindh through Tuesday, while cold and dry weather persists elsewhere. Finally, on the business front, Pakistan's benchmark stock index, the KSE 100, surged past the 191,000-point mark today in a record-breaking rally. The gains were driven by strong buying and growing investor optimism amid expectations of an imminent policy rate cut by the State Bank of Pakistan. By midday trading in Karachi, the index had climbed sharply, supported by rising foreign exchange reserves, easing inflation, and lower Treasury bill yields across most maturities. Analysts say trading volumes remained high as investors positioned for potential further gains, with attention now turning to afternoon session movements and upcoming economic indicators. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Victoria Lane.